What I really like about TikTok is your creative drives everything on the platform, right? The algorithm knows who's going to be interested in that content. That's what's so awesome about it. Like, each creative you test is most likely going to reach a different audience every single time. So you just have like an endless amount of testing that you can actually be doing. And it's never going to be like an apples to apples comparison, to your point, with your big competitors that can spend all day and just shatter you in terms of like how deep their pockets are, right?
Yeah. And that's interesting you say that, because I'm kind of having a cringe reaction, because as a paid media specialist myself by trade, I always want to learn and get better. And you're really pointing out the fact that sometimes you'll learn, but you don't know how to get better from it because it's a trend that you latched onto. The trend has passed, so like you can't really do anything with it, but be glad you rode that wave. I will back up for a minute though and say, like, there are great targeting capabilities on TikTok like any other platform. So we can go pretty niche. We can go into hashtag targeting and things of that sort. But it is true that the trends and the ability to respond to and take action on the trend is really what's going to elevate this week's performance of TikTok. And next month, you don't know if you're going to be able to repeat that or not. And so like everything you're doing and all the learnings you're doubling down on, might kind of vanish in thin air. And I'll give you an example of that. We had a client at a little bit of time ago that there was like a coquette, I think you say, a trend that was going on where basically people were tying bows around everything on TikTok. So French fries, tying bows on them, like any and everything. And we were working with a client who had a really great TikTok marketing person for organic TikTok. So she started creating for their products bows around everything. We were able to catch that trend before it peaked and see really great return on not only their TikTok shop ads, but just like pointing to the e-commerce store too. And it's just that ability to be like, I'm seeing this trending. I'm seeing it hasn't peaked. I think to us, a peak is like use of the effect or the sound or the whatever of like 500K or more is when you're kind of like too late to kind of grab onto it. And so we're working with teams and we're working in-house to figure out how to identify those things before they've actually peaked.
So in your experience, Nikki, like what type of shelf life does it have on the platform? How long can you get good results from a trend?
I'm going to give you like the grayest answer here ever. And the reason is because like the things that are truly latching onto a trend that, you know, you didn't create, but you're seeing you have an opportunity to latch onto, that's going to be a little different. That can be a few days to like 14 days, depending. But every marketer should still have in their portfolio of ads live on TikTok some level of evergreen. And this is usually a slightly longer video, like 15 to 20 seconds in length, that will introduce people to the product, the brand, whatever. And so those evergreen assets can live for an extended period of time. So I would say the refresh rate is a lot higher than it is on Meta in terms of new assets coming through, but you are going to find winners. Like we've got a couple things in rotation right now that we probably launched 6 months ago and they work fine.
So you really have to have like someone on the brand side, that they have to have a presence on the platform to be able to identify those trends as they're happening so you can take advantage of it.
Exactly.
Because like, honestly, a lot of meta marketers, they don't use the platform every day, right? But you can get away with that. I don't think you can with TikTok.
It's so true. And I was talking to someone who on my team who runs a lot of our TikTok campaigns, and she's like, it's really important to highlight that whoever is doing this, like looking at the trends and being a user of TikTok, they need to do it in their own personal account, not their business account, right? So like the data of the business account's going to get a little skewed. So look at it as an individual, catch on these trends. Like once you see a couple videos using the same, whatever we think the trend is, look at the use of that trend. And as long as it again is under that like 500K, I'm just making up kind of like a loose number, uses, then it's probably trending and it's probably one that will peak soon enough. So if you can get a creative person to execute on it quickly, that's what you want to ride.
Yeah, I mean, creative. I mean, that's all I'm hearing. And that's really what paid ads have kind of turned into these last couple of years. So it's really important to have a good system in place to be churning that out all the time, right?